With this particular story collection, both of them, it started with invitation. I had been working with several horror authors at the time, and it started to come out that the female authors were writing about it differently. They had different fears, and they were writing about them differently. And I was curious about this, so I grabbed a handful of them and asked them to write me a story, and I kept it really open-ended. Just write about something that scares you. And then I also wanted to have new voices and writers who didn't typically write in that genre, so they weren't familiar with the conventions and so on. And so I asked a poet, I asked a romance author, I asked someone who had never even been published, just write this. And what came out was something really organic, I think. And a lot of the writing was much more cerebral and kind of more Twilight Zone, like personification of emotion, like grief or anxiety, things like that. My role changed from story to story, depending on what the writer needed or what the story needed. So sometimes I was sort of even a writing coach. I was encouraging all of them along the way, cracking the whip, so on and so forth. But I also, some of the stories would need developmental editing. So it was big picture things, plot, character development, or take out this character, add this. And then some of them came to me somewhat fully formed and really just needed some light editing and proofreading. So there was that aspect of it. I also had, because I was an English teacher for so long, I actually had them peer review each other's work because I wanted it to not just have my editing fingers in it. I wanted to have this collaborative aspect to really create this cafe, which is what I was after. And then we pulled in the artists, and I knew many of them just from the community, and I had asked the other writers if they knew people, and I studied their artwork and decided what story I thought that their work would best complement. And I had the artists read the story. They would work with the author and with me, and we would create this illustration that we all felt really exemplified the theme or the pinnacle scene of the story. So that was really exciting. And again, we just had this idea of collaboration all along the way.